Hello there. My name is Bernice, 35 years old. I'm a CEO of a big company, a very big one. My girl, Selena, very beautiful, talented, and strong. It was my fault. I did not solve my job well, causing pain to everyone, especially my girl. When you know this story, please learn it from my mistake and do it better than me. A director of a company is always busy, and so am I. My life is boringly busy. It changes only after I met her. The first time I met Selena was when we are in the company. She's just like something so attractive and shines brightly right in this similar to boring place. I was the one who was being proactive in our relationships. She accepted my proposal, and I was very happy. As the natural characteristic of a grown man, I wanted to protect her and make her a lot of happiness. But for the circumstances, my family background is more or less influenced on her. Actually a lot, and I was so angry with myself for not realizing this sooner. Selena is great. Perhaps in this life, good things are all for me. From the place to eat, to live, clothes, utensils, to extremely rich family background. And I am self-confident that she is absolutely mine. We worked together. Both of us have a really good partnership with each other. After work, we are a romantic couple. I feel like that the whole world must be jealous with us. We watched great movies together, enjoyed delicious food together, watched the best people in this world together. Once while I tried to watch my little girl in the faint light of the cinema. That cinema is rather a special one, specially prepared for both of us. I found her so fascinating. Something I've never seen in any other woman. I started to take a closer look. It was long enough for her to realize, and was fast enough for her to be unable to react to anything too. Starting with her lips, soft and steamy. Next is the breath mixed with her hot body heat. We talked with each other, showed our intense love with our whole body. My family, my mother, started to care about us. Absolutely so, I can predict. She always wants our company to have a relationship more than work with other big companies, so she would never accept Selena. She arranged accidentally but full-fledged meetings for me and other bosses' daughters. However, I always refused by all means. I cared about nothing but my Selena. After failing in impacting of my romance, she turned to interference with Selena. She made Selena be accused of deliberately deceiving me, taking advantage of me by love. They said that she had done all for this fortune. Everyone in the company is discussing about this. She must be very stressful with this. I was very angry. They were not me nor her, but they spoke as if they were under our beds. I used my authority, threatened to fire anyone who dares mention this problem. I said that this is a company, and my life does not need to be judged. After that, everything went back to become quiet again, and we continued to walk our path of love. My mother did not expect a result like this. She wanted Selena to be under pressure and voluntarily leave. She continued to influence on Selena. This time she used money. She is willing to give Selena a sweet life with a condition that she have to be disappeared from me. Selena sadly told me, and immediately I came and had a talk with my mother. She immediately got angry. She said Selena was really unreasonable, that she dared not to accept her condition, that it was the best choice for her to stay away from me before she cannot control herself. I did not think of getting intermarried with other companies to create a force is more important than her son's happiness. I want her to prove that she has ability to well influence on the company to show my mother, then perhaps she will rethink about us. In fact, Selena is really outstanding. She pleases every partner. What she lacks is just her family background. I started to look for her many big partners who are good enough for my mother to accept her influence. I gave her 2 days to prepare for signing contracts, and above all is to get along with the big bosses first. Indeed, she did very good. Short time later, she kept meeting and getting to know with many influential people. Seeing that it is okay enough, I decided this is the right time for my mother to know about this. I went to see her and persuaded. Oh my goodness, finally, she accepted. I happily drove my mother to meet Selena, but I did not expect that terrible things are waiting for me there. Upon arrival, I realized that something here was not right. She stood right next to me and witnessed everything. Both of them were not discussing business. She was laughing happily with her partner, and he was stroking her hair, looking at her affectionately. My mother immediately left. I tried to stay and wait for an explanation from Selena, but she admitted them all. I said nothing and left the place. My body is like a heavy ice. There is no way saving this situation. I blamed everything on her. My mother is about to accept her after all the relationships she has done establishing. Everything was about to have a happy ending. No doubt it was painful like this. I was bored, on my own car. I tried to find somewhere private and comfortable. Along the street, my head constantly had chaotic emotional streams. Half to blame on Selena, half to blame on myself for being so helpless. I just wanted to destroy everything. Company, family, lover, all are lies. You only care about what you want, and I am nothing. Am I your puppet? So let this puppet disappear from your life. Right after those thoughts, in front of me, a car is coming. I do not want to avoid, so I let my hands to enjoy both physical and mental pain. But how painful! The devil did not smile with me. I woke up in a hospital with a very serious injury on my head, almost paralyzed, legs, and large scars on my face. Surrounding me were strangers. A woman tried to claim that she was my mother. Some people called me director, others called me boss. What is this? Who are you? And who am I? My head hurts like being stabbed by 1,000 needles. I could not remember anything. As the year passed, I gradually got used to that life. That 1 year lying in the hospital was horrible for me. My entire body was painful. That time is a century. I always taken to the park by my bodyguards after my health condition got better. Sometimes I noticed that there was a girl reading a book under a tree. That girl always looked at me whenever I glanced over at her. I thought, that's right, because it looks like I am not the same as any other people. During the treatment time, my mother, she always told me stories that I've been through. Although it was not usual, I was attentive and tried to receive information, but I did not recall anything from the past. The doctor said that there was something too painful that my brain wanted to hide. My mother did not tell me anything related to Selena, but she continuously apologized to me. She seemed to have made a mistake in the past. She told me, "I am sorry, I should not do that, please forgive me." I did not understand, but I sympathized with her. Over time, my body recovered, but my head was still very hurt. Sometimes there were some images appeared in my mind, and my head got hurt more when I tried to think about them. 2 years later, I was discharged from the hospital, and things just kept continuing like that until one day. My new friend I have just had led me to a bustling place. It was a place with alcohol, music, and lots of people. I sat in a corner, drank wine, and listened to the music. In the bustling atmosphere of that place, I encountered a familiar image. Who? It was the girl read a book under a tree in the hospital. I saw her many times there. Was I discharged when she was the same? How coincidence! I was curious. Ignoring the guilt of the scar on my face, I approached her. She was drunk. In her drunkenness, she said many things. I sat down and greeted her. She looked at me as if she was meeting her relatives. This is the first time I have taken a careful look at her face. Wait, something so familiar. Suddenly, my head got hurt again, a terrible pain this time. She suddenly hugged me. She said to me as if she was trying to explain to me, "When I met big bosses, I seriously tried, and the work went smoothly, but the last person was not. He required me more than just work. He threatened to make a big deal out of it by all means if I disagreed. For him, money and rights decide all. He was top initial customer of the company. If he cancels the contract, the company will likely come to the verge." It was difficult for her, and the worst thing was that my mother was the one behind that. Hearing till this, my head hurt badly. I could feel the vacant part in my brain. It crept into my head when I was unprepared. In the end of the pain, I remembered everything. I remembered her. I remembered everything. I hugged her. "I understood everything. I am sorry for making you suffer. I am sorry." Inside me, now that I want to come back, but now that I was no longer like I was before, my feet, my face. No one intends to be with me. She lays her head on my shoulder, tears rolling down on her cheeks. She was too drunk and fell asleep. I took her the nearest hospital, let her lay on bed. I spent the whole night on watching that face, that shape, the faint light. Thousands of emotion rushed back. I was suddenly worried about Selena at the time when I was in the hospital. Was she being there for me? Or did she have something bad? In the next morning, she was surprised about my appearance. I felt inferior. We talked. I asked her for the reason made her hospitalized for a long time. She told me she gave birth during that time. I was very sad. Perhaps after that misunderstanding, she got married and even had got a cute baby. But she made me happy in the surprise. She said that there was no husband. Her business relationships were still pure. The last time she was with that boss was just a play which was built by my mother, and nothing serious happened. I believed this. Nobody would accept me, except a sick person like me. Only Selena. But wait a minute. If that baby did not belong to any of those guys, so it would probably be... Oh my goodness, is that my baby? Selena nodded. Oh God, I'm a bad guy, causing trouble and then forgetting everything, leisurely enjoyed other people's care. Meanwhile, Selena and my baby have to suffer ascetically during those years. I decided to atone for my fault. When seeing that more than 2-year-old boy, I was surprised. He was surprisingly like me. I took them home to meet my family and got accepted. Moreover, my mother was grateful that Selena could ignore everything that she had caused and regretted not accepting this earlier. The wedding was officially taken place. We were fulfilled with happiness. I realized that life is indeed hard, but it is also wonderful too. When I had everything, I could not have her. And when I almost lost everything, I had a happy family.